I'm Ashley. Today we're going to be practicing a very supported Savasana. Some people might ask, what's the point of this? What's the point of restorative yoga? What's the point of lying down and resting for a significant amount of time? The answer is we are trying to establish parasympathetic dominance in the nervous system. You can look that up. There's so many health benefits, and in our hectic, stressful lives, reestablishing the rest and digest side of the nervous system, which this kind of practice does, is really good for you. So try it, see what you think. Let's get started. In an ideal world, you would have 5 blankets and a bolster. I know not everyone has this many props. If you have some props, but not this many, you can grab a couple of towels or cushions from the couch, those sort of things, to sub in some of these. So I'll show you the sort of every support version, and then I'll say what you could do if you have less. But if you have any way of taking the time to do all the props, please do so, because it's a different experience. Okay, so to begin, for our first blanket, we want to take it into a long rectangle, the sort of basic rectangle of the blanket. And then we're going to fold it in half, but not totally in half. So we're leaving this stair step shape. This is the headrest. So we want this 2-step system here, because we want the shoulders here, and then the neck is going to be supported by this little ledge in the head here. I'm going to place that head blanket down. If you have all the blankets, or if you have a towels you're going to use instead of blankets, go ahead and do 2 more just like that. Very same fold that we just did, and set them to the side. Those are going to be for our wrist support. If you don't have very many blankets, you'll skip the wrists. But I will tell you, sometimes when I do this, even though I have all the blankets, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do the wrists. I won't set the wrists up. And then sometimes I do it, and there's a real difference. There really is. So if you have all the blankets, just take the moment, do it. I tell myself this. Okay, if you have a bolster or some kind of round thing you're using, it could be a foam roller, a rolled up yoga mat, place it right here at the end for under the knees. Then we're going to take 1 more blanket and roll it a little bit, not into a full roll, just a little bit. I'm going to place it here at the end for under my ankles. So what I'm looking for with the relationship between these 2 props is I want the ankle support to be about half of the knee support. So when I place my knees over the bolster, I'm going to then also place under the ankle at the Achilles tendon, and I want them to have a good height differential between, about half. So you can see my heels are going to come off, and this is really supporting that Achilles tendon. If you have only 3 things, you would do head, under the knees, under the ankles. If you have only 2 things, head, under the knees. I'm going to take my wrist blankets out to each side. I want them to look like mirror images of each other. Symmetry relaxes the body. So we want to tell our body, you can relax, things are good. That's what we're trying to do with all of this. Okay. So to come, once you have all your props set up, get the bolster under the knees. Then I'm going to get my ankles ready. Make sure that height, it feels good. Then I'm going to press into the hands to come all the way down. And once I come down, I might need to adjust the head and neck support. So I want that 2nd stair step right under the C7 vertebrae of the neck, cervical spine. And once I'm there, I can bring the corners up a little bit to make that a little more like a pillow, maybe a little more comfortable. We want the chin more down. We do not want the head thrown back at all. So make sure if you need a little more height, You could add a second blanket or move this around a little bit to make sure that chin is coming down. Finally, with the hands, we have the option to put the hand inside just that one layer of the top stair step to give almost like a mitten feeling. Just make sure you do the same with both. Same amount of blanket. You could also just rest the hands on top if the mitten is a little too much. We want the wrists higher than the elbows and the hands nice and relaxed. Okay, so if I were you, at this point I would make sure my next blanket is next to me so I could cover my whole body with the blanket, and then I would cover my eyes. Let's settle in here. You should feel very supported and comfortable. If something does not feel good, roll to one side and sit up and adjust the props so that it becomes comfortable. Begin to notice the breath and try to bring an evenness to each inhale and each exhale. Take a scan of the body here. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere that's no longer necessary. And gently ask yourself to let that part of the body go. Picture in your mind's eye a lake, a body of water held in a receptive basin by the earth itself. Note in the mind's eye and in your own heart that water likes to pool in low places. It seeks its own level, asks to be contained. The lake you invoke may be deep or shallow, blue or green, muddy or clear. With no wind, the surface of the lake is flat. Mirror-like, it reflects trees, rocks, sky, and clouds, holds everything in itself momentarily. Wind stirs up waves on the lake from ripples to chop. Clear reflections disappear. But sunlight may still sparkle in the ripples and dance on the waves in a play of shimmering diamonds. When night comes, it's the moon's turn to dance on the lake, or if the surface is still, to be reflected in it along with the outline of trees and shadows. In winter, the lake may freeze over, yet teem with movement and life below. You have established a picture of the lake in your mind's eye. Allow yourself to become one with the lake as you lie down on your back so that your energies are held by your awareness and by your openness and compassion for yourself in the same way as the lake's waters are held by the receptive and accepting basin of the earth herself. Breathing with the lake image moment by moment, feeling its body as your body, allow your mind and your heart to be open and receptive to reflect whatever comes near. Experience the moments of complete stillness when both reflection and water are completely clear, and other moments when the surface is disturbed, choppy, stirred up, reflections and depth lost for a moment. Through it all, as you dwell in meditation, simply noting the play of the various energies of your own mind and heart, the fleeting thoughts and feelings, impulses and reactions which come and go as ripples and waves, noting their effects just as you observe the various changing energies at play on the lake, the wind, the waves, the light and shadow and reflections, the colors, the smells. Do your thoughts and feelings disturb the surface? Is that okay with you? Can you see a rippled or wavy surface as an intimate, essential aspect of being a lake, of having a surface? Can you identify not only with the surface, but with the entire body of the water, so that you become the stillness below the surface as well, which at most experiences only gentle undulations, even when the surface is whipped to frothing? In the same way, in your meditation practice and in your daily life, can you identify not only with the content of your thoughts and feelings, but also with the vast, unwavering reservoir of awareness itself residing below the surface of the mind? In the lake meditation, we sit with the intention to hold in awareness and acceptance all the qualities of mind and body, just as the lake sits held, cradled, contained by the earth, reflecting sun, moon, stars, trees, rocks, clouds, sky, birds, light, caressed by the air and wind, which bring out and highlight its sparkle, its vitality, its essence. Inhale and exhale. Continue breath by breath with the lake image as you rest here, or you can let that image go and just breathe. Rest in your Savasana. Let the bones feel heavy, and I will be back to cue you out of the pose when it's time. Begin to deepen your breath. As you're ready, gently bend one knee and then the other. You can plant your feet on your bolster, blanket. Take a few breaths here. Moving as slowly as possible, roll to one side or the other. Use the bottom arm as a pillow for the head. Take some breaths lying on the side. Once again, moving very slowly, push into the top hand to help come in the direction of a seat. The eyes can remain closed, the chin, head a little bit tucked until the head comes up last as you find your seat. Take a few deep breaths here. As you're ready, gently open the eyes.